Hey everybody, good to see you. I've got some stories to tell you. When I was 16, I spent the summer living at this camp in the high mountains of Colorado. We raced our mountain bikes in the Mountain States Cup and some Norba Nationals living at 9,200 feet, and we got really into this idea called carbo loading. You probably know what it is. It's where for a few days prior to the event you eat a diet rich in fat and protein and low on carbs, and then the night before the race you eat this huge carbohydrate-laden meal so you'll be ready for the race with enough fuel in your legs for the following morning. Being enthusiastic teenagers, we took this idea to the extreme, abstaining from all carbs for a few days and eating a camp diet of mostly peanut butter, beef jerky, and olive oil directly from the jug like Buddy the Elf, who drank syrup, right? Except we drank olive oil. Then the night before the race, we gorged ourselves on a huge pasta dinner. I learned a lot about how resilient the human body was during this period of my life, but it was very clear that our bodies and minds are only able to work right when we fuel them right. Today, we're going to explore this idea, and the idea is how to be human. And we're going to contrast what it means to be human versus what it means to be beastly through the lens of the first few chapters of Genesis and Daniel's vision in Daniel chapter 7. So this talk is called What It Means to Be Human. In Genesis, we see that when God made the world and all that was in it, he called it good. And when he put man and woman in the garden to help them rule the world, he called them very good. Imago Dei, made in the image of God. This is our first glimpse into God's purpose for humanity, for you and for me. To join God in tending his garden, to rule the world on his behalf, as his emissaries, in his image, made as representatives of God. But we mess up. Adam and Eve get convinced by a beast in the garden that they can rule the world apart from God, on their own terms, that they could be gods themselves. The Bible calls this beastly desire to rule the world on our own terms sin. The rest of the biblical narrative records story after story of people struggling with sin. Cain killing Abel, Joseph's brothers throwing him into a pit to die, David killing Uriah and taking his wife, the Israelites breaking their covenant with God over and over and over again. We see horrible consequences of people seeking to rule the world on their own terms. You and I, and the rest of humanity, have acted like the beast in the garden, whom we call the serpent. Because we choose the way of the beast, we have not chosen to rule the world alongside God. It appeared that there were no humans able to avoid ruling on their own terms. Ever since we got kicked out of the garden, it seemed like there was a vacant throne next to God. God wanted someone to rule the world alongside of him. And it seemed like there were no human beings able to rule alongside God, and instead they followed their own way. In Daniel 7, Daniel the prophet has a dream featuring 4 beasts representing kings of the world whom leave destruction and death wherever they go. I hope you read it during small groups. We both witness and take part in the consequences of following the beast. Daniel then sees in his vision that God, the Ancient of Days, takes his judgment seat and kills the beast and gives dominion to a human, gives ruling power to a human called the Son of Man, who takes his rightful place at the right hand of God to rule alongside him forever. Son of Man, or son of Adam, just means human. And who do we know that is both the only human who's been able to follow God perfectly instead of the beast, and coincidentally calls himself the Son of Man all the time? Yeah, your Sunday school answer pulls through, it's Jesus. So we have a choice in front of us: to follow the beast and rule our lives on our own terms, or to follow Jesus and rule the world on his terms. I've been trying to paint a picture that the Bible is trying to get us to see. That to be fully human is to be emulating Jesus, fully alive, full of equal parts justice and mercy, taking part in God's restoring redemptive mission to all the world. And anything less is to be less than human or subhuman, and to leave a wake of destruction and death wherever we go. Our bodies may last for a while if all we eat is cheese puffs and Mountain Dew, but we see that we're strongest when we eat things we're intended to eat. Similarly, we can only be human in emulating Jesus. C.S. Lewis says in Mere Christianity, God made us, invented us as a man invents an engine. A car is made to run on petrol's gasoline, and it would not run properly on anything else. Now God designed the human machine to run on himself. He himself is the fuel our spirits were designed to burn, or the food our spirits were designed to feed on. There is no other. That is why it is just no good asking God to make us happy in our own way without bothering about religion. God cannot give us happiness and peace apart from himself, because it is not there. There is no such thing. So I pray that you'd look to Jesus as the author and perfecter of your faith, that the one who started a good work in you would carry it out into completion, and your life would be full of more adventure than you can even have the imagination to see right now. Amen.